Hey guys, so this will be a new type of video for my channel. If you watch my music videos, you may have noticed that I have been buying glasses lately. I needed some new glasses, and I've started to experiment with different styles and colors, as well as different online retailers and brick and mortar retailers. And I thought I would do some reviews, mainly of the retailers themselves, as well as let you see some of the different glasses that I bought. This will be the first installment. This is going to be dealing with name brand stuff from, either known brick and mortar retailers or websites that sell non-proprietary brands. So what you see here is the go-to pair of glasses that you've seen in my videos for 10 years. These came from Lens Crafters. They are Ralph Lauren, and my ex, who was an optician who managed the Lens Crafters, got them for me. At the time, they were a little more fashion forward than what I was looking for, and I grew to love them. And now I'm looking for further fashion forward and bold stuff. So that's what the video is going to be focused on for the most part. For reference sake, I'm a big guy, 6'2", 250, with a big head. The last time I bought a hat with a numerical size, it was 7 1/4. Normally buy extra large in hats. So when I'm looking for glasses, I generally start with large and extra large frames, although I have bought some smaller frames just because I couldn't find the ones that I was looking for in the larger sizes, and I thought the smaller ones still looked okay. Glasses will typically have measurements for the temple, as well as either for the individual lenses and the nose piece or for the entire width. I find them to be kind of misleading, because if they just give you the lens measurements and then this and the nose measurement, but then there's a piece here versus the entire width across, you can't always cross-reference it. And then even with the temple length, depending on how this is bent, sometimes a smaller or larger one will fit differently. That's the disadvantage of shopping online. It's really helpful to try Stefan first, but it is a good reference point. These are 57 millimeters, that's the lens width, 17 millimeters, that's the bridge width, and then 140, which is the temple length. I always go for anti-reflective or anti-glare coating on the lenses. Transition lenses, which is a name brand. I don't necessarily have to have the name brand, but it's like Xerox, where you any brand you would call it transitions, but really it's polychromatic, which means that the lenses turn into sunglasses in sunlight. So pretty much every pair of glasses that I've ordered in these reviews has those options. I always get the poly lenses when they're offered, but not every website offers them. So I honestly don't know which ones have the poly lenses and which ones don't, but I do always go for that option when it's available. So one thing I'm not going to do in the video is I'm not going to give the individual model names or model numbers of the frames. There's just too many to keep track of. If anybody's interested in specific information like that, just leave a comment and I'll look up my purchase records. So, other than Lens Crafters, which is where these came from, and Lens Crafters is typically very expensive, so these I think would have been, with all the lens options, these would have been like $600 or $700 new. So other than Lens Crafters, the first brick and mortar store that I went to was America's Best. It's a chain, relatively reasonably priced chain, and they had, not only did they have some not too flashy, not too basic frame options that I liked, but they had the best deal for buying multiples, where if you buy one pair of glasses, then every subsequent pair of glasses is 40% off. So I got 3 pairs, plus then I got some frames elsewhere and had them put the lenses in, which also applied with the 40% off. So it ended up being very economical. I think my first 3 pairs, with all the lens options, and then insurance took care of some of the first pair. I think what I ended up paying out of pocket was like $300. So I think if insurance hadn't taken care of some of it, it might have been $400 or $500 for 3 pair of glasses with, again, with all the lens accoutrement that I get. So let's take a look at some of those. These are my wife's favorite. They're meant to be kind of the least obtrusive pair that I got, with the you know, the way the colors just kind of blend into my face. All of their frames I think are around $80, and then, you know, you add on for the lenses and stuff like that. And I think it does have a brand name on here, but I don't know what it is. I think most of their brands are relabels for their own chain. What else did I get from them? These are extra large frames, so they look a little wider on my head than some of the others do. These are 59, 19, 145. You can't really see in the camera, but I love how they're white on the inside. I love two-tone frames like that. Again, the frame was like $80. They also give you clear cases with everything you get there, and I much prefer clear cases so that I can go through my glasses and see. I didn't tell you the measurements of the first one. I'll do that. Just go back to the first one and just see if the measurements are listed. Again, I have not been buying 54, 16, 145. I have not let the measurements been too much of a factor in what I've been buying, because I've found that they all look and fit differently depending. Okay, and this is the last pair that I got in store from America's Best. I like the thick temples with the design on them. They're probably the boldest of the pairs that I got from them. 51, 17, 145. I feel like this weird shape here kind of makes me look like a robot. Okay, so then after that, I got some frames from some other brands that had them put the glasses in, because it was cheaper than actually getting the name brand frames from the store that carried them and having them put glasses in. Like, I'll get to that in a second. These are Kenneth Cole, and I think it was $80 for them to put the lenses in. Frames, I found them for like $100, but they would have normally been more expensive than that. They're 53, 18, 140. These come in 3 different colors. They come in a brown, which is kind of like those ones that I got, that I showed you first, where they transition from dark brown to light brown. Then they have a blue, like a navy blue with brown on the inside. And then these are just meant to be like a black version of the ones my wife likes. And then I got a bunch from this brand, Alan Mickley or Elaine Mickley. Nia, do you know how that's pronounced when there's an A in there?
Makes a flick.
She's no help. So, these are a Luxottica brand. That's the company that owns LensCrafters. So these I would theoretically get through LensCrafters, but as I pointed out before, LensCrafters is very expensive. So I was able to get the frames and then have America's Best put the lenses in for much cheaper, again, especially with my 40% discount. Those are kind of, I don't know if you can see the pattern, kind of a cool pattern on there. 53, 17, 145. And then I wanted some flashy black and white ones to wear when I have to wear black and white to church and gigs and such. Some got on there. Probably seen these in my videos or pictures. I've definitely worn them. These are another Elaine Mickley or Alan Mickley. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce it. I'm probably saying even the second part wrong. Mickley? Did they even say? Well, that's Mickley. Elaine Mickley is what it looks like to me. 54, 16, 145. Okay, so that's it for America's Best. And if I find any other frames that need lenses, I will go there. Now, I did get one other pair of frames and had somebody else put lenses in it. It's a long story and I'll get to that later, but I found these wood frames on Amazon. They're real wood. They're handmade. They're not any name brand. They're just something that somebody made, I think, or a company making them. And I thought they were really cool. They were very cheap. And I got them. And they're definitely small. So I was like, I don't know if those are even going to fit. So I figured, if they don't fit, I won't even bother. But I got them, and I thought they were so cool. And I'm letting you see all the different two-tones in the wood there. And I took them to America's Best, and they don't have an in-house lab. They send their glasses out. That's one thing I forgot to mention, by the way. So it takes, I think, 2 weeks for them, because they send the frames out, and they send your prescription, and they send them back. And mine always came in earlier than projected, but theoretically I think it takes up to 2 weeks, because they have to send them out. And since they send them out, they weren't willing to risk sending these out, because they weren't sure about fitting lenses in wood. And so they said, we'll try a place that has a lab in-house. So I went to Eyemart Express. They wouldn't do them. I also went to Eyemart Express when I was looking for just glasses in general. And they had some stuff that I liked, but I didn't like it quite as much as the America's Best, and their prices were definitely higher, especially if you were buying multiples, so I didn't get anything from them. And then I tried Stanton Optical. Stanton Optical is the company that was, in fact, able to put lenses in this. They have a lab in-house, and their technician was willing to try it. However, their prices are definitely higher, and so originally I went for just plain lenses. No anti-glare, no anti-reflective, no poly, no transitions. And it was still like $80, which is the same price that America's Best charged me to do all the fancy stuff. And I got them back, and I put them on, and I couldn't see, and I was like, what? Is my prescription wrong? And they're like, no, when you're used to anti-glare and you don't have it, it's a lot harder to see. So then I had them remake it with anti-glare, and it ended up being like $180, I think, by the time I was done. And so definitely was more expensive, but they were able to put the lenses in the wood frames. But I wouldn't go to them for anything like that. I did look at their selection. They had a lot of frames that I liked, but they were all too small. The frames that they had that fit, I didn't like. So I wasn't crazy about them. But they were the only company that was able to put the lenses in the wood frames. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Let's continue our brick and mortar. So I got an ad in a Groupon for a chain called C Eyewear. And they kept popping up, and at the time I was like, I don't need any more glasses. But they kept looking so cool when they popped up. So I went down there and I used the Groupon, and I got these, which are definitely one of the flashier pairs of glasses that I have. It's a very bold tortoise with different colors, big frame, wide temples, which I like. So the thing with them is that they specialize in real bold, flashy designs. They only make like 100 of each design, so it's almost like having your own custom frame, because the likelihood is you'll never run into anybody else with the same frames, because I think each store might get one of each frame in each color. And they're more expensive than the other places I mentioned, Stanton and Eyemart Express and America's Best. I think they're still cheaper than LensCrafters, especially if you use the sales and Groupons and things. With the Groupon, these worked out to being, and again, all the lens accoutrement, these ended up being somewhere between $300 and $400. And then I got a second pair from them because I like them so much. Let me show you those. And I did not. You can only use one Groupon every 6 months. I can't remember the date. You can't use multiple Groupons at the same time. So I used some other sale option that they had, and they ended up being around the same price. These are actually the same shape frame, but they're in like a fake wood finish. I'm not married to that shape. Like, I would have gotten another shape, but I just happen to really love that fake wood finish. So I didn't read you the numbers off of those, but I will. They're going to be the same for both of them. 55, 18, 145. Made in France. Francais. I don't believe there were numbers on the wood ones. Again, those were kind of like a handmade one-off deal. I'm definitely going to go back to C and get some more, but I can't, you know, that's not something I can do multiple times a month, buy, you know, $400 glasses. That's, you know, a couple times a year kind of purchase. But I definitely will be going back there. I really liked their designs. I thought the prices were reasonable, the quality's good, and their service was great. So it's definitely, if I would have gone there first, I probably wouldn't have gone to any of these other places. I probably would have just gotten a couple pair from there and called it a day. Okay, so next up, there were some frames that I found in brick and mortar retailers that were name brand, but I couldn't get the lens options I wanted or something. There's some reason I couldn't buy them there. So I went online to search for the best price for them for, you know, online websites that sell name brand frames. First place I went to was a place called Glasses Pros, and they had the far best prices, and I tried to order through them. I placed my order, and then when they billed my credit card, they billed me for like 3 times what the order was supposed to be. And I was like, well, this is a red flag. So I canceled that order and I looked around for a different website, and the next best place that I found was a place called coolframes.com. So I got 2 frames from coolframes.com. This first one is Artistic, is the brand name, I believe. It doesn't say on here, but I'll clarify that if anybody asks. They're wood. I like wood. They also have that two-tone thing that I like. Measurements are 54, 16, 145. So since we're getting into websites, I'll start talking about the website stuff. And I will get into more detail about that in my next video, which is going to be exclusively website related. But the first thing I would recommend, if you're going to be shopping for anything online, to get the browser extensions if you use Google Chrome, Wikibuy, and Honey, because they will automatically search for coupon codes for any website that you buy from, and they will automatically enter those coupon codes. They don't have all the coupon codes, so sometimes you still have to, you know, do it manually, but I've saved a lot of money using those. The other thing is always sign up for emails for any website that you're going to buy from before you buy from them, because usually they'll give you like, hey, new customer, 10% off, or something like that. And sometimes you can stack the coupons. Sometimes you can use more than one. So any website that I ordered from, I always used coupon codes. I don't think I made a single purchase that didn't use coupon codes. So when I talk about the prices, that's an important factor. So getting these name brand frames with the lenses, with all the accoutrement from coolframes.com, I think it worked out to being, it was negligibly more than America's Best. And America's Best, the frames were technically not name brand. They were technically their proprietary brands. So I want to say it worked out to being like $150 a pair. I can't specifically remember. It was more than, it was between $100 and $200 per pair. And if anybody wants more specifics, I can find that for you. But yeah, I got 2 pair from coolframes.com. They took about, I think, about 2 weeks to come in the mail. Oh, forgot to mention with C Eyewear as well, they also don't have a lab on site. So they also had to send them out. And again, everybody seems to take about the same, about 2 weeks, whether you order online or you get it in the store. If they don't have a lab on site, the only places that give them back to you the same day are the places like Stanton that have the on-site lab. But, and then this is the other pair of frames that I got from coolframes.com. The brand name is New Globe. 58, 16, 145, so these are another extra large. They're actually very similar to the ones from America's Best, and had I known that when I bought them, I probably wouldn't have gotten both. These looked a little different in the pictures. It wasn't anything wrong with the pictures, it's just the way certain things show up. But they're still a good set of frames. So yeah, I had good experience with them. They weren't the cheapest of the websites, but for getting name brands and then reliable and your prescription being accurate and just, you know, not having any issues, I would definitely recommend coolframes.com. So the last that we're going to go over today is fashioneyewear.com. I was looking for a set of Tom Ford frames, and I was going to buy them on eBay and then have them go to America's Best. And I found this site, fashioneyewear.com. These, by the way, are 53, 20, 145. and it turned out to be cheaper, again using coupon codes and all that, it turned out to be cheaper to get them on fashioneyewear.com with the lenses than it was to buy them discounted on eBay and have in America's Best by 40% off put the lenses in them. I think they were less than $200 out the door with the lenses. Okay, so there you have it. That's the first installment. That's talking about either brick and mortar stores or name brands online, or both. In my next video, I'm going to go into some of these more obscure websites that are cheaper, but you don't know anything about the product. There's Firmoo, Zlol, or ZLOL, or whatever it is. Vogumi. I'm probably saying all these wrong. I'll put them in the description. But I'm going to go over a list of websites that you can buy from that have, off-brand stuff online for very cheap. Most of it comes straight from China, and I've had some surprisingly good experiences with that as well. So we'll probably do the next installment pretty soon, and I figure that a lot of people will be interested in that, because again, that's a lot riskier than ordering. You go to a store, you know what you're getting, and you can look at it first, and you can always come back and return it if you have problems. Order a name brand online, you have some idea what you're getting. And again, if you're dealing with a company that's based in the U.S., then you have some degree of accountability. But I understand that ordering from overseas can be risky, and so I definitely want to share the positive experiences that I've had with that. And so hopefully you guys will look forward to that next installment. And I will do, like I said, there'll be at least 3 glasses videos total, maybe more. We'll see how many glasses I keep buying. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching.